Hi, assalamu alaikum. We're here to pay our final respects to a father, a brother, a son, a friend, a believer, Brother Louis Farrakhan, Jr. We begin this janazah with the recitation from the Holy Quran, chapter 36, Yasin, verses 22 through 32, which will be done by Sister Alima Muhammad, a senior at Muhammad University of Islam.
Bismillah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
أتخذ من دونه آلهة إن يردني الرحمن بضر لا تغني عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون. إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين. إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون. قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون. وما أنزلنا على قومهم جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين. إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون. يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون. ألم يروا كم أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون. وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون. صدق الله العظيم. Love's gifts are mighty. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.
The English translation of what she just recited, and the language, for those that are not familiar, that is the Arabic language. It is the language, as we're taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, of the original man and the original woman. It's a language that we spoke before we were brought here as slaves to America. So that is our language. And what reason have I that I should not serve him who created me, and to whom you will be brought back? Shall I take besides him gods whose intercession, if the beneficent should desire to afflict me with harm, will avail me not, nor can they deliver me? Then I shall surely be in clear error. Surely I believe in your Lord, so hear me. It was said, enter the garden, He said, "Would that my people knew how my Lord has forgiven me and made me of the honored ones. And we sent not down upon his people after him any host from heaven, nor do we ever send. It was not but a single cry, and lo, they were still. Alas, for my servants, never does a messenger come to them, but they mock him. See they not how many generations we destroyed before them, that they return not to them, and all, surely all, will be brought before us." Ameen. Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, for those that are not familiar with Muslim janazah, that are attending for your first time, just a few explanations of what you will see and hear today. We're taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that as you see, you don't see any flowers. Flowers are beautiful, but yet we should give flowers while the person still lives. The person that has passed can't see flowers. And the monies that we spend on flowers, we can give to the family who has to continue to exist. We also don't have any music, no songs, no solo. And we know that black people, we have the most melodious and harmonious voices. But sometimes those songs are so soul-stirring that they become very heavy for the family. And we don't have a cavalcade of speakers. We've all been to many funerals. And you know the person can say you have 2 to 3 minutes. And most people never follow the 2 to 3 minute rule. And you all know as Muslims, we can do a 5-minute greetings just to give the opening. So we don't have any speakers. Sometimes a person comes up and they have the good intentions and a good heart, but they get up and say the wrong thing. We've all been to funerals where that 1 or 2 persons get up. It's the wrong person getting up, and they say the wrong thing. So the only song that you'll hear is the song of the Psalms of the Word of God delivered from student minister Ishmael Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, for the reading of Life Reflections, this is Sister Sophia Farrakhan and Brother Louis E. Farrakhan III. These are children of Brother Louis Farrakhan, Jr.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I greet all of you with the greeting words of peace. We say in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Louis Eugene Farrakhan Jr., born Louis Eugene Farrakhan. I'd like to note that I mistakenly said that Louis Eugene was born Walcott. He was born a Muslim. He was born a Farrakhan. Louis Eugene Farrakhan Jr., at the age of 60, passed away peacefully in his sleep at the family home in Phoenix, Arizona on June 1st, 2018. The family and friends of Louis Jr. were blessed to have him for more than 2 years after suffering a major heart attack in 2016. Louis was born on January 5th, 1958, to Louis Eugene and Betsy Newell in Boston, Massachusetts, as the young couple's 4th child and firstborn son. As the oldest son, Louis had the responsibility of ensuring the home ran smoothly in his father's absence and was protective over all of his siblings. As the years went on, he enjoyed playing with his brothers and sisters. The family moved to New York City when he was 7 years old, when his father was the minister of Muhammad's Mosque number 7. Lewis Jr. loved New York, where he attended Muhammad University of Islam and made many lifelong friends. He was proud to become a senior Fruit of Islam at the age of 16 under the leadership of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Throughout his life, Lewis held the principles of an FOI close to his heart. He was dedicated to the teachings and worked for the liberation of our people alongside his parents and family. In the fall of 1982, Lewis Jr. eagerly arranged an introduction to his future wife through his childhood friend, Sister Michelle Harwood. In Chicago, Illinois, at Nature's Kitchen, young Lewis Jr. used his charm to express his intention to find a Muslim wife. He calmly stated, "I'm looking for a wife," and Sister Lisa Eileen X. Coleman replied, "Well, I've been praying for a husband." Their courtship began there, as Lewis brought laughter and excitement to their relationship. On April 30th, 1983, the couple married in Lisa's hometown in St. Louis, Missouri. In the spring of 1986, they welcomed their first child and soon renewed their vows and welcomed 5 more children. Over the course of his life, Brother Lewis Jr. worked diligently and served his nation in many capacities. Lewis Jr. was an apprentice to Brother Osman Kareem in New York City, where he learned insurmountable carpentry skills, established a small lawn care business, worked in the manufacturing and production of the Power at Last Forever Clean and Fresh products, and assisted his wife in establishing Your Window to the World travel agency. Being creative gave Lewis Jr. much joy. His natural abilities, coupled with his love for Islam, inspired him to create logos for various historic projects such as the Million Man March in 1995, the Millions Family Movement, the Millions More Movement in 2005. Lewis Jr. spent much of his time perfecting his various design ideas for programs and properties for the nation. Lewis Jr. was recently tasked with being the lead architectural design for the new family home in his paternal grandmother's hometown of St. Kitts. Lewis Jr.'s most recent product was his clothing brand named Hala, which represents the reflection of Allah in each of us. Lewis Jr. desired for this brand to reflect the words of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and quote, "Whenever you look at a black man, you are looking at God."
Lewis Jr. was a real brother's brother. In his 6 decades of life, he genuinely befriended hundreds of people from all walks of life. He never discriminated his love regardless of race, religion, social, or economic accomplishment. He was always your brother. He often opened his heart and his home and gave his time and advice to anyone who needed it. Lewis Jr. had an undeniable love for the people. He often would converse with the believers for hours, never leaving the conversation without a good laugh. Lewis had a way of making you feel comfortable speaking about the uncomfortable and was content with the simplicities of life. Lewis Jr. was a lover of life who enjoyed many thrills. He always spoke of his love for aviation and encouraged his sons to become pilots. He witnessed his eldest son, Lewis III, become a licensed private pilot and successfully fly and operate a single-engine Piper aircraft. In fact, in recent months, Lewis Jr. successfully flew an ultralight paramotoring aircraft in Arizona. As a lover of life, he enjoyed roller skating, dancing, camping, traveling the world, long road trips, comedy, watching movies, and appreciated music of all genres. He was inspired by his father's classical music training and encouraged his 4 daughters to study classical instruments. Although Louis Eugene Farrakhan Jr. was not a lettered man, he was said to be before his time. And as his father said, genius is too cheap of a word to describe him. Louis Jr. encouraged his children to dream big and to put their dreams into action. Louis Jr. is survived by his parents, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and Mother Khadijah Farrakhan. Lisa Farrakhan, the mother of his 6 children, Safia Malika, licensed therapist, Khadijah Yasmin, nursing student, Mariam Aliyah, medical student, Khalid Zainab, architectural student, Louis III, pilot, and Mutawakil Yassin, future aviation student. In addition, 5 grandchildren, Messiah Nasir, Sadia Malika, Tariq Najim, Malik Nafis, and Samima Malia. Louis remarried and is survived by his wife, Bridget Dominguez Muhammad, and stepchildren. He is also survived by 18 siblings and their spouses, Bessie Jean and Maurice Farrakhan, Maria and Alif Muhammad, Donna Farrakhan, Joshua Farrakhan, Mustafa and Karen Farrakhan, Fatima and Kamal Muhammad Farrakhan, Khalid Farrakhan, Mita, Abnar and Tony Farrakhan, Wali and Morel Farrakhan, Khalifa F. Muhammad, Yasin F. Muhammad, Hakeem F. Muhammad, Aliyah and Ishmael Muhammad, Jalila F. Muhammad, Samida F. Muhammad, Mudathir F. Muhammad, Kayana F. Muhammad, Yanajdaha Lone Wolf Muhammad, Julio Lone Wolf Muhammad, and a host of aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, and cousins. Louis E. Farrakhan Jr. was a most beloved son, husband, brother, friend, father, and a faithful servant of Allah.
I'd like to acknowledge a few resolutions. One resolution from Reverend James Bass, and another resolution from the city of Harvey, Illinois, and a good friend to the Nation of Islam, Mayor Eric Kellogg. Brothers and sisters, in providing us words of comfort, this is the National Assistant Minister to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Student Minister Ishmael Muhammad.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise belongs to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. Allah, the wonderful originator and creator of the heavens and the earth. Allah, the giver of life. Allah, the ultimate cause of death. Allah, the revealer of all truth. Allah, the sender of all of the prophets and messengers, from Abraham to Moses to Jesus to Muhammad to the Messiah. We thank Allah for His many blessings. We thank Him for His goodness. We thank Him for His mercy. As a student and follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, under the guidance and example of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I could never thank Allah enough for His merciful intervention in our affairs in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, and for raising up from black people in America His messenger, Messiah, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I thank Allah for the unequaled guidance that He has given to us, that is in our midst, in a man that has worked tirelessly for the liberation of our people, has sacrificed for the establishment of freedom, justice, and equality. I thank Allah for this divine teacher, divine guide, divine warner, the representative of the Messiah in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I greet all of you, my dear brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. First and foremost, to our beloved teacher and guide and father, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, to our beautiful First Lady of the Nation of Islam, the matriarch of this beautiful family, Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, to the children of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, from Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, Sister Betsy Jean, Sister Maria, Sister Donna, Brother Joshua, Brother Mustafa, Sister Khalil, Brother Abnad, and Fatima. How could I forget Sister Fatima? To the children of our dearly departed Brother Louis Farrakhan Jr., Sister Sophia, Sister Khadijah, Sister Maryam, Sister Khalil, Brother Louis III, and Brother Mutawakil. To the entire extended family and the family of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we, the Nation of Islam, joined by friends, loved ones, and sympathizers from all over the world, extend to you our heartfelt condolences. The family is in our prayers and thoughts, and we pray that Allah, who is the source of your strength and comfort, lift the burden of sorrow from your hearts, knowing that this is the will of Allah. Brothers and sisters, Allah tells us in the Quran, in the 3rd chapter, the 144th, 5th verse, and no soul dies but with Allah's permission. The term is fixed, and whoever desires the reward of this world, we give him of it, and whoever desires the reward of the hereafter, we give him of it, and we shall reward the grateful. Allah tells us further in the Quran, in the 39th chapter, the 42nd verse, that Allah takes men's souls at the time of their death, and those that die not during their sleep, then He withholds those on whom He has passed the decree of death and sends the others back till an appointed term. Surely there are signs in this for a people who reflect. We that are alive today represent those whom Allah has not yet passed the decree or decree of death on. We've passed through the night and awakened today by His grace from our sleep. But each of us have an appointment with death. Death is the irrevocable will of Allah. There's no way to escape it. We don't know when our time will come, but the only way to escape death is to never have been born. So since we all have this appointment to keep that you and I won't be late for, nor will you be early, the term is fixed. If that is a reality, then we all should reflect on the precious gift of life and resolve to live this life as Allah would have us, so that we will have no regrets when death comes. Life is short. We only have a moment in an infinity of time. The question is, since funerals are not for the dead, they're for the living. The question for the living is, what are we doing with the moment in an infinity of time that God has given? The Holy Quran refers to death as an evil accident of time. God does not intend evil when death comes. He's not the author of evil, but the evil, according to my teacher, is the sorrow and grief that death brings. The evil accident of time. An accident is an unexpected event. You don't see it coming. You're unprepared. It comes by surprise and takes you by surprise. And that is what happened a few days ago. The evil accident of time. We weren't expecting Lewis to leave. We were not prepared for it. Allah knew. And this is why we all should be good to one another. Life is not guaranteed to any of us. We're here for a moment right now, but who knows the next moment other than Allah? So should we not honor? Should we not respect one another? Should we not settle our differences before the sun sets, so that when this evil accident of time comes and takes your loved one, you won't come to the funeral with a heavy, heavy heart of regret, but one of joy, one of gladness, one of gratitude, thanking the God for the life that touched your life, that enhanced your life, that enriched your life. This is the way the righteous should live, so that we have no regrets when death comes. It appears that our beloved brother Lewis was asleep in the home in Phoenix when death visited. And Allah took his soul during the time that he was asleep. This, to me, represents Allah's mercy. You didn't hear me. This, to me, represents Allah's mercy, to be in his own home or the home of his family. He didn't die in a car accident. He didn't die in a plane crash. He didn't die by gun violence. He died in his sleep. And Allah is he who takes men's souls at the time that they are asleep. How many lives are lost to illness, disease? And I'm saying this to the children, that you may be grateful to the God who gave you your father, but remember what your grandfather has taught us. We're not from our parents. We are from God through our parents. So the gratitude that you should have, that even though Dad's time was cut short, yet the mercy of Allah was on him. It's on you. It's on us. This is also the blessed month of Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak. This month of Ramadan for the Muslims, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is quoted to have said that the gates of heaven are wide open in this month. Praise be to Allah. So we have a lot to be thankful for in the way that Lewis left. This is a very blessed and highly favored family with God. A blessed, highly favored family with Allah. Chosen from a blessed, highly favored people with God. If it were not for us, Farrakhan would not be. You didn't understand that. Had we never been brought over here as slaves, God would not be on the scene. Had we not suffered, had we not been brought into bondage, God would never had to have come to raise from us a messenger and a guide in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. What a blessed, blessed people we are. Now, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and his progeny, is born from the will of God. Please give me a moment, particularly to my little nieces and nephews, because you gotta know what you're connected to, what your lineage is. This blessed family is born from the will of God, the mind of God, the spirit of God, the heart of God to fulfill a purpose in the delivery of his people and the establishment of peace on our planet. To be a blessed people or a blessed family and to live a blessed life according to my teacher doesn't mean that you won't suffer. It doesn't mean that you won't have misfortunes. To be blessed doesn't mean that you won't get sick. It doesn't mean that you won't have trials in your life and that you won't have accidents. To be blessed or to have a blessed life means that whatever comes into your life, you give all the honor, all the praise, and all the glory to Allah. That's a blessed life. And that you rise above any condition that He permits to come into your life for His glory, for His cause, and the future of a nation of righteous people. Allah tells us in the Quran that we will certainly be tried with something of fear, hunger, and loss of property and lives and fruits. But it says to us, O you who believe, seek assistance through patience and prayer. Surely Allah is with the patient. And then the Quran says, and give good news to the patient. That when a misfortune befalls them, they say, surely we are Allah's, and to Him we shall return. Those are they on whom are blessings and mercy from their Lord, and those are the followers of a right course. Yes, we will miss Lewis. It goes without saying. Lewis touched our lives and the lives of many unknown to us. He made an indelible impression on all. He left his mark on everyone and anyone he came in contact with. Louis was one of a kind. There'll never be one like him, and there was none like him before him. That's my big brother. All praise is due to Allah. Louis was unique, extremely gifted, and boy, was he funny. Oh, Louis was funny. He was gracious and kind. You know, Brother Mustafa, can I tell you all a story? You know, Lou would not want us sad. Anybody that knew Louis, he probably want to have all of us dancing right now. But this a quick story. Your uncle shared with me a story the other day that had me darn near in stitches. And this is typical, classical, authentic Louis. Now, we all know he suffered from a heart condition. So when he suffered his first heart attack, Mustafa goes to see his brother in the hospital. Lou is in the bed. Mustafa asks his brother, "Hey, Lou, how does it feel?" Louis said, "It feels like Allah sent down one of his angels, and it must have been a new one." And a fat one, because he didn't land on my side, he landed right on my chest. That was Lou. That was Louis. Oh, we'll miss those laughs. But Louis was gracious. Louis was kind. Louis was a sweetheart. Not in that way now. But he had such a beautiful heart. He was generous. He was humble. He was compassionate. He was a very sensitive man, a giving man, always helping someone in need. Louis had a very unique way of looking at things. He had quite an imagination. Why you laugh, Mario? Louis could look at a thing that everybody was looking at and tell you something about that thing that you did not see. He saw how a thing could be shaped and reshaped. This is the brilliance of his mind. And how that one thing that exists could be reshaped and brought back into existence in another form. Just a brilliant mind. And he always had that kind of outlook on people, on circumstances, on things. That was Louis. Louis loved his family. Louis was concerned over his family's well-being. Louis wanted to see the unity of the family, the unity of black people. He loved the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He loved him. And all of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's children loved deeply the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because their father is in love with his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So if the children love the teacher, it's because the Father loves the teacher. And he put that love in all of his children. And Lewis loved the Nation of Islam. Lewis was a soldier, and he would not back down from any confrontation. I see Flavor Flav is here, but Lewis was the Flavor Flav of this family. He was the flavor and spice wherever he went. But Lou had to do everything his way. I wish I could play Frank Sinatra's song, My Way, because that was Lou. Lou would consider things, but at the end of the day, he said, hey, I'll do it my way. So when the Quran speaks and says to us, speak not of those who die or are slain in the way of Allah as dead, nay, they are alive, but you perceive not. I'm going to tell you something about Lewis, because I thought about how Lewis lived his life. I thought about how Lewis lived the way of life that many of us claim to be following, but don't demonstrate those wonderful qualities and sublime attributes of Allah that I found in Lewis. Because the way of God is to love. The way of God is to be kind and gentle. The way of God is to forgive and not to be proud. The way of God is to be unselfish. The love of God doesn't envy. It's not rude, it's humble. That's the Lewis I knew. And many of us that say we are Christian or Muslim, the Bible asks the question, how can you say you love God whom you have never seen and hate your brother whom you see every day? We gotta learn how to love one another. So in closing, the body that is in front of us, that's not Lewis. The real Lewis is not flesh and blood. The real you is not the flesh. This is just the vessel or housing of the Spirit. Which is greater, that which perishes or the unperishable? The real you is the everlasting, eternal Spirit that never dies, that operates and manifests through the flesh when you give yourself over to the God, that you will never die, because once you give yourself to God, then you enter what is called immortality, because the Spirit never perishes. So the body has expired, but the Spirit of Lewis lives on. He can never die, because all of us that are here have a living memory of him. When you think of him, when you bring Dad up in your mind, you won't find a dead Lewis. It will be a Lewis talking to you. It will be memories of yesterday. And if you call the Spirit up, it will direct you in the present. And Lewis will speak to you in present time, not even in past time. Am I right, teacher? It's not spooky. It's not spooky. This is real. And so, we don't hang around grave sites. As much as we love our departed, we know the grave can't praise God. And if the grave can't praise God, it is what you do on this side of the grave, so teaches the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that praises the Creator and gives benefit to your life. So I will come down now and say the prayer. It's called the janazah. And in this prayer we say, "Oh Allah, do not deprive us of his or her reward." That means that there is a reward for those who remain behind from a good mother, a good father, a good brother, a good sister, a good person, a fallen soldier, male or female. There's a reward for the doers of good unto others. There is no fear for them, nor shall they grieve. Your father was a good man. He did not intend evil for no human being. So the reward that Louis earned can't be used in the grave. So Allah passes that reward to his children. Good brings its reward to the living, and to the dead who die in faith, the reward of their work passes on to those who are left behind. You are blessed. And if you want to increase your blessings and benefit from the reward of your father, the good of your grandfather, you must be good and be doers of good, serving none but Allah and the cause of freedom, justice, and equality. It is a reward never to be cut off. It will go down into the generations. As Allah says in the Quran, when he took a covenant out with Abraham, and Allah tells his servant that his covenant includes his offspring, but not the wrongdoers. Your disbelief will nullify the reward of Allah and cut the blessings. Louis cannot die. Louis is a beautiful man, and we thank Allah for him. And we thank Allah for the sacred and blessed womb that brought Louis into the world, that touched all of our lives. May Allah bless the family. May Allah comfort you. May Allah protect this family. May the angels of Allah watch over you in your comings and your goings. May Allah increase you with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and may Allah pour out the anointing of his spirit, that you may live up to this blessed name, Farrakhan, the blessed name, Muhammad, and do the work of Muhammad and Farrakhan in the liberation of our suffering people. That is the will of Allah for your lives. Thank you as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum. Do I have the... I'm going to Sister Fatima Farrakhan and Sister Betsy Jean Farrakhan, the daughters of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, want to share something with us.
Assalamu alaikum, family. I am humbled to be before you this afternoon, deeply grateful and highly honored. I come before you this afternoon to share with you and to introduce to you a wonderful woman. I am here on behalf of our father, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and our mother, Mother Khadijah, and the family, who wants to thank you for all of your well wishes, your love, your compassion, those who came near and far. We thank you this afternoon, and we want to introduce to you a sister of ours. This sister right here is an incredible woman, and I am honored to be her sister. And when there is difficulty in the family, particularly our Father. We had an episode just a few days ago, and this woman has a history. This woman has a history of taking great care of this man in the hospitals night and day with no sleep. She is a soldier. She is a sister soldier. She is a believer. She is a believer. And she is the lover of her Father. This woman, Fatima, the lover of her Father, the same essence that created him is the same essence that created my sister Fatima and gave her to him. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. It is my honor, I am humbled to introduce to you this afternoon our beloved sister, soldier, lover of her Father, believer, my sister, Fatima Farrakhan.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to give you an update on my father, our father, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And you all have totally touched us, all of you. Your well wishes, text messages. We love you. Yes. And thank you. Yes. As far as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I just wanted to say today, many of you don't know that my father was just released from the hospital this morning. That's right. He loves you. Our family loves you, appreciates each and every one of you. Absolutely. But right now, his immune system is compromised, and they did not want to release him today, even for my brother. Because I am a nurse and can give care that is found in a hospital, they released him to me. I am asking all of you who love him, which I know you all do, if you would be kind enough to know that right now his immune system is compromised. So if you want to wish him love and comfort, if you blow him a kiss or put your hand to your heart to say, I love you, I'm with you, I appreciate you. That would be the kindest thing you could do right now, because each one of us carries our own set of germs. And as we're fighting, we don't want to introduce something more into the equation. So if you love him, please don't shake his hand. Put your hand to your heart and give him love. That's the most important thing that I wanted to share with you today. And I also wanted to say, Charles Burnham, I love you. This man here was an angel sent to our family by Allah. We almost lost my brother 2 years ago from the same thing, a heart attack. And it was his friend, Charles Burnham, that got him to the hospital in a nick of time. And it gave us more time. Allah, through you, gave us more time with my brother so that he could make amends throughout the family, touch more people. I appreciate you and thank you. All of you that are here, on behalf of my entire family, we love you, we appreciate you, and we thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Thank you. I will now ask first if the male members of Minister Farrakhan's family, we are going to form 2 lines here so that we can do the Salatul Janazah. So I would ask first if we would allow for the male members of Minister Farrakhan's family to come forward, that we will start the first line. Everyone is not all the male members that are present. If you wish, many of you are already in rows, so you may stand where you are so that you can join us for the prayer service. Louis, come with me. Stand next to your brother. Let's go ahead. Do 2 lines. Traditionally, the janazah is said in silence, but so that all non-Muslims can hear and to know the prayers that are lifted, I will say the janazah aloud. When you hear Allahu Akbar, which will be the only words that I will say or recite in Arabic, that means that God is the greatest. Allahu Akbar. Glory be to thee, O Allah, thine is the praise, blessed is thy name, and highly exalted is thy majesty. There is none to be worshipped besides thee. I seek refuge in Allah against the accursed devil. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment in which we now live. Thee alone do we worship, thine aid we seek. O Allah, guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom your wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray. Allahu Akbar. O Allah, bless Muhammad and bless the true followers of Muhammad, as thou did bless Abraham and bless the true followers of Abraham, for surely thou art praised and magnified. And O Allah, make Muhammad successful, and make the true followers of Muhammad successful, as thou did make Abraham, and make the true followers of Abraham successful, for surely thou art praised and magnified. Allahu Akbar. O Allah, grant your protection upon the living and the dead, and upon those who are present and those who are absent, and to our young and to our old, and our male and our female. And O Allah, whomsoever you cause to live from among us, make him or her to live in submission to your will. And whomsoever you cause to die from among us, make him or her to die in faith. And O Allah, do not deprive us of his reward, and do not make us fall into a trial after him. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you. Brothers, you may make your way back to your seats. This will conclude our service. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad had us pass a peppermint out. And the significance of the peppermint, and first I would like to say, of course, we all are observing the month of Ramadan. Those of you who are fasting and do not want to break your fast, hold this peppermint in memory of Lewis. And when we have iftar tonight, you can take this peppermint if you wish. But the peppermint is to help to give us sweetness that helps us in the bitterness, and that is death. But the greatest significance is that as you put this peppermint into your mouth, the natural juices will wear away the hardness of the candy, and all that will remain is the sweetness of the candy. So it is with the life that was with us. Time and circumstances wear away the life, but all that remains is the sweet memories of the life that was once with us. This is the significance of the peppermint. So take this in memory of our beloved brother, Louis Farrakhan, Jr. It's a closed casket. I will ask the funeral director to come forward. He will direct us now. And if you would like to come as we begin to prepare for our procession to go to the cemetery, then the ushers will direct us to come down. You can give him a good soldier salute, or you can put your hand over your heart and bow in respect and in honor of your brother. Brother Otto.
So after, Assalamu alaikum. So after everyone who wishes to come up and pay our last respects to our beloved Brother Louis Farrakhan Jr., as you come around, we're going to ask that as you do so, that you would return to your seats as quietly as you can. And after we have paid our respects, and then after we have returned to our seats, then we will come down, a presentation that will come and remove our brother from here, and then we will process out. Those of you that will be going with us to the cemetery, we ask that you turn your headlights on and your flashers. We know that you will be a part of our procession as we start our way to Oakwood Cemetery. Assalamu alaikum. So we're going to ask those of you who wish to come down and pay respects to our beloved that we would do that now. Assalamu alaikum.
We want to acknowledge and thank those that have come here to pay their respects. We appreciate the presence and the condolences of the Reverend Jeremiah Wright, who is present. Where's Brother? With Father Michael Flager, who's present, Reverend Clay Evans, Prince Asiel bin Israel, Mr. Gene Brown and Mr. Gene Kilroy, Chuck D from Public Enemy, Jim Brown. This is Gene. Where's Jim? Where's the, okay, big brother Jim Brown, Chuck D, Public Enemy, Dougie Fresh, and our brother Benjamin Chavis is also present. And Flavor Flav, of course, of course. Thank you so very much, all of you. Sister Dorothy Tillman, thank you so very much. God bless you. Mr. and Mrs. Howard Morgan. Aaron, if they just if you step this way, just so when they can get a good sight of the minister, you know they're not coming in.
Brothers and sisters, those that will be coming up, if you would come this way and then down the center aisle.
the Reverend Henry Hardy, Dr. Conrad Worrell. Please, Dr. Conrad Worrell, Father Flager, please, the minister just would like to see you.
Brothers and sisters, we're going to ask if you could kindly clear the center aisle. If you can kindly clear the center aisle so those that are viewing can come past you.
We'd also like to acknowledge Brother Ali Baghdadi, longtime writer from Muhammad Speaks and writer from the Final Call newspaper, and Brother Munir Muhammad. I want to acknowledge Brother Munir Muhammad, television show Muhammad's and Friends, owner, CEO, president of CROW, Coalition for the Remembrance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and good friend of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Just a note to all of the believers, please keep in mind we have a whole lot of people that would like to come to the front. So if everyone could give their love and keep moving, please. Brothers and sisters, those that are in line, as you come and greet the family, you have to keep in mind there's a whole mosque of people that if everyone can just shake a quick hug or shake hands, and let's keep the line moving, please. Brothers and sisters, if it,
Brothers and sisters, we will have a repast right here on the grounds of the National Center at Muhammad University of Islam. The repast for family, friends, student ministers that are traveling, and to those believers that we can accommodate, it will be at 8 o'clock as we prepare for the Maghrib prayer at 8:20, and then we will have iftar around 8:30, 8:35 p.m. That will be the repast for Louis Farrakhan Jr. tonight. Thank you. I'm going to ask we're going to ask if we can keep the line moving because we have a deadline to meet at the cemetery. Hey. Yeah, come on. Come on, Dean. Okay. Layla's here?
brothers and sisters, as we come, if everyone could keep the line moving, we have many, many well wishes for Brother Louis. So if everyone, as you come to the front, if you can give a quick hug and a handshake, and we can keep the line moving. We have so many that would like to come and pay their respects and show their love for the family. Ready to stop now? Yeah. Stop it now? Yeah.
Yeah, because we got to get to the cemetery at a certain time.
Okay. Brothers and sisters, those that are in the center aisle, the brothers and sisters that are in the center aisle, if you could clear the center aisle, we have so many well-wishers. We have to move towards the cemetery. So if everyone would hold their place in line, if we could move the center aisle, please. If everyone right here could just hold your position. Brothers and sisters, if you just, sisters, if everybody hold their positions, hold your positions, please. Just hold your position. Took too long. Brothers and sisters, those that are in the center aisle, if you would politely please clear the center aisle. Brothers and sisters, if everyone would please have a seat. If everyone standing would please take a seat. If everyone that's standing, please take a seat. Everyone that's still looking at me, please go take a seat, please. You're welcome. If everyone would please take a seat, please. Brothers and sisters, those that are standing, if everyone would please take a seat. Okay, brother, if you send the brothers back that way. All of those that are in the back, if everyone would please take a seat. If everyone would please take a seat. All of my brothers that are in the back or on the side, if everyone would please take a seat. Okay, do this old school. Yeah. If everyone in the center aisle would please clear the center aisle and have a seat. All of my brothers that are in the back of the mosque still standing, if everyone would clear the center aisle, please. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Assalamu alaikum. Good to see you.
What's your name?
Brother Jeffrey.
Brother Jeffrey, Sister Shirley.
I know you, man.
Follow mommy.
Yes. Okay. They're going to go out this way.
Stay with mommy. No, I can't. What I was going to ask you. No, I was going to ask you a question. Can we come up? No, mommy, Shalimar, she recognized you.
Brothers and sisters, at this time, we're going to ask for your quietness. Brothers and sisters, at this time, we're going to ask for your quietness. I've always been told that the third time is the charm. Brothers and sisters, we're going to ask for your quietness. We thank you so much, as our beloved sister and daughter of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said in her remarks to those of you who are here, that on behalf of the family, they are grateful, thankful for your presence, for your acts of kindness, your deeds. But know that at a later date and time, and when it is much more convenient for them, they are going to express their gratitude to each and every one of you in their very own special way. Even on this evening at Iftar, those of you that have the time and want to come and celebrate and put your arms around the family and let them know that you love them, you're welcome to do so. But at this time, we're going to have our honor guard that is going to come down the center aisle. So we're asking if you would clear the center aisle. They are coming for our beloved brother. We're going to take him from here and the family, and we're going to Oakwood Cemetery for our service of internment for our brother. At this time, our honor guard. Assalamu alaikum.
Again, brothers and sisters, the repast will be at 8 o'clock here at Muhammad University of Islam. The repast is at 8 p.m. In observance of the holy month of Ramadan, we will have our Maghrib prayer and then iftar, which would be the repast, beginning at 8 p.m. this evening. Thank you. Those of you who are going to follow the remains to its final resting place, please take your direction as you go into your cars and to get the funeral stickers so that you can be in the procession. The cemetery, it's not in here, huh? The internment is at Oakwood Cemetery. That's located 1035 East 76th Street. Again, that's Oakwood Cemetery, 1035 East 76th Street.